And I need a couple up here that would help me with this. I'm going to do a little bit of role playing with you. Is there anybody that would want to come and help me here? You know, one of the things that I think is really important is that when you're training, I love the fact that what he talked about there is that on Saturdays, he trains on how to close everything. That's what I always focused on, was closing, closing, closing. Because I want you to think about the only thing standing between you and having huge success in your business is your ability to get people to say yes to you. Am I right or wrong? When you perfect the ability to get people to say yes to you, then it really, all it boils down to is how many people can you get yourself in front of, right? And if you can get your people to learn how to get people to say yes, then it's really the same thing. It's managing how many people they're getting in front of. That Saturday phone blitz, phenomenal idea, right? There's nothing that you could do on a Saturday morning that would be more important than getting 80 to 100 appointments for the following week, because even if half of them cancel, right, you have 40 or 50 appointments, and if people know how to close, lots of good things are going to happen. There's going to be multiple sales written and multiple recruits happening that week. It's just going to happen, all right? So you've always got to be focused on getting on more appointments. Once you get on the appointment, though, the key is you've got to have a recruiting process, all right? You've got to start recruiting people. And I said earlier that recruiting people is a matter of asking the right questions, finding out what's important to them, and then getting them getting them to see that you can help them do that, and to be bold in letting them know that you can help them. That's the key. It's always been the key. It always will be the key. Okay. So if you're going to sit down with somebody, all right, this is what I would start with. Okay. If I'm sitting down with David and Susie, right, and we're saying, well, first thing, of course, we're gonna let me have a trainee up here too. Who could be the trainee here? Who wants to be a trainee? Okay, come on up. What's your name? Robert. Okay, Robert. All right. So we got Susie, Dave, and Robert. Grab his chair, Robert. Just grab a chair there. Okay. So Robert's my trainee. And by the way, okay, this is what I do. What you're seeing right here, this is what I do every Saturday when I'm in my office training, okay? This is what I do. I don't talk from the stage very much, okay? Very, very rarely do I just talk at people from the stage and lecture. Lecture is the absolute worst way to train people, okay? I'm always doing role play, because like right now, what I'm effectively doing, what you would be effectively doing if you're doing what I'm doing, is that now you're on a training appointment with 100 people, you see? And you can't there's no way I could go out with all of you on an appointment every week. But if I do this at my Saturday training, I'm in effect on an appointment with you, right? And what I want to do is, I'm the best, right? So you're the best in your base shop. So wouldn't you want everybody to be trained like you're trained, right? To be as good as you are? Well, then you should be doing a lot of this, okay? Constantly showing them exactly how to do it. Demystifying it, especially when you have new people. They start saying, well, that's what's going to happen. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. I want to take people to go see people. That's fantastic. That works, okay? Because you want to get people to not be afraid to put you in front of people. If they know what's going to happen when they get there, they're going to be less apprehensive about taking you to see people. Make sense? Okay, so that's one of the things I want to do. So I would say, so Robert's going to introduce me. This is Dave, this is Susie, right? So Robert's going to introduce me. Introduce me, Robert.
Promise you that we're not going to waste your time. And Hector is one of the most educated people that I know in finance, and really helped me out in my family with a lot of the areas in finances. And again, I don't know what we can do, but I just want to thank you again for letting us come visit you.
Okay, great. So what I would have done, I would have trained him. I say, Robert, all I want you to do is say, okay, hey, Dave and Susie, thank you so much for allowing us to come here. I think you're going to be really impressed by what Hector's going to show you. I'm going to turn it over to Hector. And that's it. I don't want him to say anything else. I don't want him to go on. I don't want him to do something that could make me have to dig my way out of a trap, okay, afterwards, all right? Know what I'm saying? All right? I don't want him to say much. I want him just to introduce me. Keep it very short, very simple. Okay? So, well, hi, Dave. Thank you very much for allowing us to be here. Hi, Susie. Thanks so much for letting us be here. I really appreciate that so much. And one of the things that's really important is really how that handshake at the beginning is critical. Your eyes need to light up like you're so excited to meet them. You know what I mean? It can't be, "Hi, Dave, nice to meet you. Hi, Susie, nice to meet you." That doesn't work, okay? It's got to be, "Hi, Dave, thanks so much for letting us be here. Hi, Susie, thank you so much for allowing us into your home. I really appreciate that. That's very nice of you to do that." So, before I get started, I wanted to just cover a couple things with you. First of all, is I want you to know that I'm not going to do anything to violate the trust that you guys and Robert have together, right? I want you to know that that trust is going to be kept intact. And also, I want you to know that I'm going to be very respectful of your time. I'm not going to waste any of your time, okay? Because I know that's a big issue. All of us are very busy today. Life is hectic. And I want you to know tonight will absolutely not be a waste of your time. You're going to be very excited about what you see after, we share that with you. And then last of all, I want to customize what I'm going to present to you. I don't want to assume that I know what's important to you. So in order for me to customize my presentation, right, to you, then I'm going to need to ask you a few questions so that I cover the things that I'm positive are important to you instead of what I think is important to you. Does that work for you guys? Is that okay? Okay, so I'm just set up the appointment. One, I'm going to be trust. I'm not going to violate the trust. And if it was a referral, I would say the same thing, right? If he wasn't here and it was a referral, okay? Second, respect. I'm going to be respectful of your time. I guarantee you I'm not going to waste any of your time because that's a concern of people. They don't want to get their time wasted. And lastly, I want to customize what I'm going to share with you. I don't want to assume that I know what's important to you, so I'm going to ask you a few questions, okay? All right, so here's the questions. And I have their name, right? I've got Dave and Susie and the date. And let me ask you, what type of business are you in right now, Dave? What do you do? Okay, so you're like a psych tech, something like that? All right, fantastic. So I'd write that down. And how about you, Susie? What do you do?
I own my own silkscreen business. I do T-shirts and things.
Oh, great. Oh, that's fantastic. So how's business going?
Oh, it's when I want to work.
Oh, when you want to, so you get to make your own hours and stuff like that?
Yes.
Do you like that?
Yes.
Are you totally excited about the income that you're making off that
No.
business? Okay, great.
It's
Great.
very cutthroat in California.
Is that right? Really competitive?
Very.
Oh, so the margins are not good.
No.
So would you rather be in a business that had better margins if you could be?
Yes.
Okay, great. Asking questions, okay? Right away, right? Now she already knows she's not satisfied with her business. The margins aren't good. It's cutthroat. I know a lot of stuff already, right? And I'm going to kill her business before I'm done. Okay? All right. So let me ask you a question. Are your businesses in your job right now, are they paying you enough money to achieve all of the goals that you guys have for your family?
No.
No. Okay, great. And I'm circling this, and I'm going to do this with a red felt tip pen, right? Because I have this in front of them on the table. Because this is going to be my tool I'm going to use to close them on everything. You with me? Okay. So if they were paying you what you needed, right? What are some of the important goals and dreams that you guys have that cost money? What is really important to you guys as a family and as a couple and even individually? What's some of the things I want to write those down?
Well, Dave said it. We want a
What?
bigger home.
A home, okay. Bigger home.
Mhm.
What else?
Retirement.
Retire. Okay. When do you want to retire?
As soon as possible.
Okay. What are you on pace for right now?
70.
70. So let me ask you a question. If I could show you how we could reduce that to 50, because you guys are pretty young right now, or 55, if I came up with some strategies that would allow you to do that, could it be safe to say, would I be assumptive in saying that you would definitely go ahead and take advantage of those things if I could show you how to do that?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Sure.
Trial close. See that? Trial close, close. And what other things? How about travels? Travel important to you guys?
Yeah, travel.
Travel. Yeah.
Travel. Okay.
And then
You want to travel in a Winnebago, or do you want to travel first class?
First class.
So how would you like to do that?
Actually, he wants the Winnebago. I
Oh,
want
really?
first class.
Okay. All right. So I would assume that you're the boss in this area, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to write first class here. You see how this is, and I would have fun just like this. This is how I would do it, just like this, okay? So what other things are important to you?
Oh, our children's education.
Oh, education. You have 2 kids, right? 2 kids, right, education. Awesome. And you want to send them to any school they want, or are we going to have to go to community colleges? What would you like to do?
No, my daughter wants to go to Harvard.
Harvard. Okay, so Harvard's about 30 grand a year plus living.
Right.
Okay.
We figured community
Yeah,
school.
that's
though.
about $200,000 for 4 years, probably minimum. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, it seems like it's not out of reach right now, but there's no question in my mind that I can show you how you can accomplish that. Okay, isn't that exciting?
How?
Well, that's what we're going to get to. That's why I
Okay.
need to ask these questions. Okay.
Okay.
All right. What other things?
Well, I like to help my mother. She's on her
Parents?
fixed income.
Okay, great. I love that. That's awesome. Very easy to do. And your church, is there any
Yeah, our
charitable
church.
organization?
Yeah, our church.
Okay. All right. So, and when I write home here, what kind of home would you like to? I mean, is it like a
Oh,
3,000, 5,000,
no,
6,000
I
feet?
already have it picked
You
out.
do. Okay.
Uh-huh.
What is it?
5,600 square feet.
Where?
In Illinois.
In
That's where we can afford
That's where
it.
you can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but look. Okay, Susie, if you didn't have to settle, right? If you could live anywhere and have that same house, where would it be?
Where would it be?
Yes.
Oh, it'd be a Victorian house on the beach.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay. Let's write that down. Because right now, I don't want you to. I want you to take the chains off. Because right now, you've been making decisions based on a limited income for a long time. I want you to think about making decisions based on an unlimited income. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So let's dream a little. We're here. I mean, it doesn't cost
Okay.
anything to dream, right?
No, it
Okay,
doesn't.
great.
No.
Fantastic. Get them to open up and dream a little bit, right? So I take all this stuff. I might go into a little more depth with that, but the bottom line is I know these are important to them. So the next question is, so Dave and Lisa and Susie, how much money do you think you need to make annually to live this life that you've just described? To have the home, to have the retirement, to travel first class, to educate your kids, let them go to a Harvard, to help your parents, and to help your church? What kind of annual income do you think that might realistically you might need for that?
Oh, that's hard.
What do you
I would
think?
say anywhere half million to 750,000.
So let's say 500K. Okay. So when is your current job or profession going to pay you 500K?
When he dies.
So when he dies. So would it be safe? Would it be safe to say never? Would I be safe
Never.
and say never?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Never.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Okay. So really, pretty
Right.
much the only way this is going to happen is if we knock him off, right?
That's
Is
right.
that right? Okay.
That's right.
Do we want to do that?
Oh, no.
Okay,
No,
great.
I
All
don't
right.
think
Just
so.
want to make sure. All right. So you have this life that you're dreaming of. Obviously, we know with what you're currently doing, it's not ever going to become a reality. How does that make you feel?
Oh,
Well, and talking about it now, it's kind of bad.
Yeah.
Prospects are pretty dismal.
Yeah.
So then I would like how on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated would you be if there was a possibility, a for real, legitimate possibility for you to accomplish those things? How motivated would you be to enter into something that would allow you to do that?
11.
11. So you'd be very motivated. Oh, okay, great.
really?
How about you,
I
Susie?
want to stay in
No.
California.
Huh?
I don't know. It would I suppose if I had a partner that was willing to work, probably 11
I'm-
too.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I'm just talking if there was a way for you to do it and you saw it was viable and it was doable and other people were doing it and having success at it, you'd be open to exploring it at a minimum, right?
True.
Okay,
true.
great.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
we've done
Okay.
other things.
So if your job or profession won't allow you to realize your dream life, what's more important to you guys, staying in your jobs or living your ideal life? Which would be more important?
Living our
Okay.
ideal
Well, I'm
life.
going to circle that. Okay. So great. All right. So what did they just tell me? Even a person that would have no interest in doing Primerica whatsoever might all of a sudden open that up as a possibility just by simply asking that question. Can you see that? You might be sitting in front of somebody that goes, no way, I don't ever want to get in a multi-level sales financial service business. But when you start pointing out what they really want and they know they can't get it with what they're doing, and then you have a possibility for them to do it, and you ask them the question, what's more important to you, your job or living your ideal life? That's a very important question to ask somebody, right? Because the answer to that, if they say my job, then what am I going to be pushing hard to recruit these people? No, I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to make this I'm going to do an F&A. I'm going to make sales. I'm going to get referrals. I'm going to go on. I'm not going to try to talk them into it because I'm not looking to talk people into it. I'm looking for people that are looking for me. Okay. I'm going to show them that I can help them do that, but I'm not trying to talk anyone into doing my business. You with me? Okay. If I could show you a viable way for you to realize your dream income, would you guys be open to exploring it tonight?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Fabulous. All right. So now they've just told me I can share the business opportunity with them tonight, didn't they? Okay. So, because don't you sometimes find, how do I transition into showing them the business? I do the business, but how do I make that transition? That was always an issue for people, right? Well, that's how you do it. They just told you they wanted to look at it. Now you have an obligation to show them, right? Okay. So, and then I would tell my personal story. Isn't it funny? I just read that thing on the Gerber thing, and he talks about the story. I had this before I shared this, by the way. This is something I did because I said, let me just tell you quickly, and you have your own story, okay? It doesn't have to be that you're making big money. It could be you're brand new and you're just getting started, but what is your story? The story is where you were, why you're getting involved in Primerica, and why you think it'd allow you to accomplish what you wanted to accomplish in your life, okay? Or tell them what it's done for you already so far, okay? What are some of the things that have happened? I've been able to pay off all my debt. I'm now saving $1,000 a month. Before I was saving nothing. It doesn't really matter what it is. You with me? You all have a story, don't you? Tell people your story, okay? And I don't want you to do it in a long time, 3 to 5 minutes, just real short. Let me just tell you how I got involved in Primerica, okay? I think it's important since I'm going to be talking to you about the business before. I used to be in the jewelry business before, and in a nutshell, I used to work weekends and nights, and it was difficult for my family and all that sort of thing. Although I did make okay money, I was making over $50,000 a year, and I needed some time off for my son's birthday. I needed 3 hours off one day. It was October 7th, 1983. And I asked for 3 hours off, and my boss would not let me have 3 hours off so I could attend my son's 5th birthday. And I got pretty upset about that, and I decided, this is ridiculous here. I mean, I give my heart and soul to this company. I do everything I can to help them be successful, right? I asked for 3 hours off to attend my son's 5th birthday, and they tell me no. And I made a decision back then when that happened I said, this isn't going to be, I'm not going to put myself in a position where I have to ask somebody else permission to attend anything for my family. I wanted to be in a position where I could make those calls myself, where I could, determine my schedule. I could determine my income. I could determine how my life turned out. I wanted to be in control. Does that resonate with you guys at all?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He's been told before that he can't take time off. He's had too much time off.
Really? So that doesn't sit well with you then, right? Kind of like it didn't with me, right?
No.
So I'm kind of assuming then by what you're saying that freedom's pretty important to you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Well, it
Yes.
was me too. And that's the primary reason why I got in Primerica is that I could see a viable way where I could create freedom in my life. Okay. And that's what I looked at it as. And I want you to kind of think about that too, because as I'm talking to you, I'm seeing that's important to you. When we're talking about this, you're going to see a lot of things. You're going to see investments and loans and insurance and all kinds of things. And you're going to think initially that that's our business. But really our business is helping people get free. That's our primary function. All right. How would you feel about helping people get free?
Pretty excited.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, that's what we focus. That's really what we do. Okay, that's really what I'm about. That's really why I'm here. I'm really here to help you get debt-free, financially independent, and have you be in a position to make choices. And that's everything I'm going to do from this point forward is going to help you do that in one way or another. Okay, so that's my number one focus. I want you to know that tonight. Okay, so I want them to know that that's what I'm here for. Okay, not to make a sale, but to make them free. The sales happen to be how we do it, right? And the business opportunity happens to be how we do it. But that's not why I'm here. My goal is to help them become free, right? So, and I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions while I make my presentation right now. Number 1 is I want you to ask yourself the question, is the company I'm about to present to you, is Primerica and Citigroup, is it a credible company? And I think you're going to see that as you go through. You'll get the answer to that. And I want you to ask, is what we do for people important? And I'm going to tell you why I want you to ask that question is because what we do for people important, number 1, for you personally, so that you can see that it's important. Number 2, so that if for some reason you decided not to get involved in our business from a business standpoint, I want you to feel really comfortable about referring people to me, all right, and to Robert here, okay? I want you to feel comfortable with that. So if you know it's really good for people, you're obviously going to feel much more comfortable referring people, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to, in lieu of charging a fee for our services, what we do is we ask for referrals, okay? Because we could charge you $500 to $1,000 for what we do. We say we'd rather not do that. I'd rather allow you to get the service free and just give referrals, assuming you're comfortable with that. Okay. So I'm setting up the referrals, right? I've got that up front. I got the referral thing handled. Okay. And then also, who do you know that would benefit from our services? That also ties into the referrals, but it also ties into if you decided you're really excited about what we're doing, if you decided to get involved, I want you to be thinking about who other than you would benefit from our services, okay? And I think the names are going to be coming up as I'm showing this information. You're going to be thinking about Betty and Sue and John and Bill, and I want you to think about this. As a matter of fact, here's a piece of paper. As we're going through this, I want you to just do me a favor, and I want you to write down anybody that comes to mind as I'm doing this that you think might possibly, just put their first names down, okay? I want you to would you do that for me, Susie?
Sure.
Okay, just write down their name real quick. If somebody pops in your mind, write it down. If somebody pops in your mind, Dave, write them down, okay? All right, great. You see that? You got that? Okay, you see we're getting, not bad, huh? You thought I was lucky, huh? That's what you all thought. I was lucky. No such thing as luck, okay? So now let me show you who we are and what we do. And now what I would do then, I've got this all set up. This may take 15 minutes, okay? It may take 20. Who cares how long it takes? It's the most important part of everything you're going to do, right? What's more important than me recruiting them and getting the referrals and all that? What? What could you be doing? Oh, I haven't even hurry. I got to make a sale because I go to the next appointment. No. I'm going to ask questions because I need to find out what's important to them, because what I'm going to do throughout my presentation now is I'm going to show them how simple it is to get that home, to be able to retire, to be able to travel, to be able to educate their kids, to be able to help their parents, to be able to help their church, right? I'm going to be showing them, when I show them the debt example, I'm going to say, look, can you see here on this debt example, if you sat down with 10 people and they were in a similar situation, you were able to help them to some degree like we just showed you here, how many out of 10 do you think would go ahead? And they're going to say 10, right? Or 8 or whatever. It's going to be a high number. So then I'm going to see, you can see, if we get in front of enough people, we can really start showing you how to make money so that you can accomplish that home. So you can start moving closer to retiring. So you can do that. You can see it's not going to be that difficult. It's really a piece of cake. And then I show them the insurance example. Look what we do for people on an insurance side. Out of 10 people, how many would go ahead? 10. Yeah, absolutely. Right. So you can see that and I would show them all the way through and I'd say, look, there's no possibility, and I would say this to them. I would say, look, I'm very good at this. All right. Do you feel comfortable with me tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm very good at getting results. I'm very good at doing this thing. And if you would join me and we would go see these people that you've written down, I promise you, if they're in a qualified market, right, if they're married, children, homeowners and stuff, we're going to do business with 7 or 8 or 9 and possibly 10 out of 10. It depends on how much credibility you have with these people, but it's going to be very high. If you join me and let me help you, I promise you, there's no way that you can fail at this thing. There's no possibility of you not being successful if you'll listen to me and do all the things I'm going to teach you how to do. And what we did here tonight is it. This is it. You know, from the very first part to me showing you what to do to us taking this information on the F&A tonight, that is the business. That's it. There's nothing more to it other than making the calls and setting up the appointments. This is the whole ball of wax. You think over the next 2 or 3 months that I could teach you how to do what I did tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? Then you're locked. There's no way. I mean, people like you guys that have the kind of credibility you have, I mean, to come from, you have a beautiful home, you have 2 great children, you're professionals, you're independent, you're doing very well in your life already. The kind of people like that you are exactly the kind of people that do unbelievable in our business, okay? Because people are looking to do business with people they can trust, that they like, they admire, and that's you guys. You guys just totally personify that, 100%. You're that. So that's why I know, that's why I was telling Robert, I'm so excited to be sitting here with you, because I know that if you get in business with me, with what I know about how to do the business and with the credibility you have and the kind of human beings you are, man, there's no way we're just gonna have nothing but success together. I'm gonna teach you how to do everything. I'm gonna show you step by step. And this is what's gonna happen. And let me show you what the compensation is. And that's how I would talk to them. Like that. Just like that. And so, look, are you guys, let me ask you a question, because I don't want to go any further before I really get so we get straight on this, okay? I just need to know how serious you guys are about having the home that you guys really dream about retiring at 55 instead of 70, about traveling first class, about educating your kids and allowing them to go to any school they choose to, about taking care of your parents, Dave, and about taking care of your church and stuff like that. I need to know, because I don't want to push you to do anything. If you're really motivated to really do all those things, then I'm going to do every single thing I can possibly do to help you accomplish those things. And I'm very confident that I can help you do all those things over time if you allow me to. How are you, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really, really serious about doing that? How serious are you guys?
Well, I think we're pretty serious. Susie and I haven't had anyone come into our home recently and offer us an opportunity to address all these issues that we have. So I think a 10. We can at least give it a shot.
You're gonna really give it a shot, okay? Okay, well, great. Well, listen, I promise you, you're not gonna be disappointed. When I come back with your FNA and stuff, it's gonna be just amazing. Let's go ahead and get the paperwork started on your IBA, Independent Business Application. All I'm gonna need from you tonight is a check for $199, and then I would close a life insurance too that night, right? I would do that as well. My goal would be close the life insurance, get an IBA, and come back and do all the rest. That's what I would do, all right? I would do that first night. I get the commitment, and so I'm closing them. I want to know if they're serious, right? Because I'm going to help them, and I'm not going to be shy about telling them that, right? Because why not? Why not throw it out there? Why not be very bold, right? Why not? What do you have to lose, right? If they're not interested in the business, fine, then I'll do the FNA, and we'll take care of that. We'll do business with them, and I'll get my 10 or 15 referrals, and I'll go on. No big deal, okay? And then afterwards, I'm going to be talking to Robert after the appointment, right? This is one of the key things to developing people. So I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to sit down with Robert and say, did you take, number one, I'm going to have Robert tape my presentation. I'm going to have him tape every single one, and I'm going to say, I want you to replay this. I want you to listen to this, 3 or 4 times in the next week so you can start hearing the questions I'm asking, what they said, how I dealt with it, all those kind of things. I want you to do that, all right? Because I want you, Robert, if you just mimic what I did, if you just ask the same questions, tell the same dumb jokes, do all that stuff just like me, act like me, do it like me until you develop your own style, you're going to be successful. It's going to be impossible for you to fail. You're going to have success. Do you see how I handled all that? How I got them involved, how I got them to like me, I got them to trust me, and I asked those questions, and they were really receptive, and I got the real firm commitment at the end. I did all that stuff, right? And I closed the life sale. Do you see how I did all that stuff? I want you to rehearse that over and over and over and over, because if you start doing it like that, I'm going to show you how to take your income from where it is to making $5,000 and $10,000 and $20,000 and $30,000 a month, okay? You with me? Yeah. Okay, great. So I'm going to get him committed, right? I want him to go on that appointment maybe 4 or 5 or 10 times, right? Not just the one time, because one time it looks like magic, right? You're not really seeing the whole thing. But if I get him to see it 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and he's revisiting every time because he was there, every time he hears it, he visualizes it again because he was there seeing it. You with me? He saw it. So now he's seeing it all over again every time. And pretty soon he starts asking and talking like me. That's the question. That's the key thing. Because if I could get him to ask questions, talk like me, act like me initially, until he's never going to be me because he's his own person, okay? But in the beginning, I want him to do everything just like me until he has the stuff down perfectly. Then he can start being himself, okay? But that's really important to get the questions down and not miss anything over and over. And that's what I would be doing with every new training. That's how I got so many people to do it. Now, I didn't get them to tape, but I went on so many appointments with people. They saw me do this over and over and over again. And pretty soon, and I would rehearse afterwards. You kind of like talk about what happened and all that sort of thing. And I trained a lot of people to really know what they're doing, to really know how to ask questions, to know how to do it like me. That's what I don't think most of you are doing a very good job of right now, okay? You're not duplicating yourself. You're not paying enough attention, because I'm not here to write a sale. I'm here to turn Robert into a field trainer and teach him what to do and get him up and going and independent. I'm here to get them involved in the business and potentially turn them into a field trainer. I'm not here to write a sale. I'm going to write a sale because I'm a closer and I'm going to get the commitments, and I'm going to do that, okay? That to me is a given. But I'm building a business that I would have the opportunity or the potential to sell at one point. That's worth so much money because I've got so many really competent, well-trained people that know what they're doing, that are capable of building their own business and training other individuals. That's what's going to make my business valuable, to be able to sell it. Now, am I ever going to sell my business? Very doubtful, okay? I don't think I'll ever sell my business, but I might die, right? If I die, I have a business. Jan's probably not going to want to do the business, right? So at least she has a business that's going to pay her $2 or $3 million a year, even though I'm not here, right? If she sells it, that's what it's going to pay her every year. With me? Okay? So that's the whole point. That's the insurance policy. That's the deal. That's what we're trying to do here, okay? So I hope this helped you a little bit just to get an idea. Okay, so thank you guys very much. Appreciate that. All right, thank you. All right, I'm not done yet, all right? So don't leave, all right? Hey, look. Look, the key for you guys to develop a great business, you've got to develop people, all right? You've got to get people knowing what they're doing, okay? You've got to find the right people. If they were a married couple like that, are they the right people? Man, they're like the dream couple. And I'm going to tell them they're the dream couple, okay? I'm going to let them know in uncertain terms that they're perfect for the business. They're exactly who I'm looking for. There's no way for them to fail. If they get involved and they just join me and let me help them, I'm going to make sure they're successful. Did you hear me say anything about Primerica or Citigroup or any of that? No, okay? Because it doesn't matter. They're not getting involved in Citigroup and Primerica. They're getting in Hector LaMarque's business. I'm the one that's going to deliver. Not Citigroup, not Primerica, me. I'm recruiting them to me. I've always recruited people to me, right? Am I proud of Primerica and Citigroup? Absolutely. But I don't want them thinking about that. I want them thinking about joining my business because I'm good. Look, most of you are too humble about how good you are. You need to start telling people how good you are at the business. Even if you haven't built a big business and you don't have a big organization and you haven't recruited and developed RVPs, that doesn't mean you're not good at the business, right? Steve Cross, you're good at the business. You're as good as you ever need to be at the business. You never need to get any better at Primerica than you are right now. Alan Souza, you're as good as you'll ever need to be at Primerica. You'll never need to get better, okay? I mean, most of you here are as good as you ever need to be. What you need to do now is you need to find people and let them know how good you are and get them in your business and let them know in uncertain terms that you can help them be successful here, that you can help them get the house, that you can help them, travel, that you can help them get the car, that you can help them take care of their family and educate their kids, that you're the person that can do that for them. That's what they need to know. That's the key to recruiting people. It's not telling them a bunch of statistics, okay? I never recruited a person off of statistics. I recruited everybody off of them being clear that I could help them get what they want because folks, they don't care as long as they know they can get what they want. That's what people want. You're the person that can do that. Joe, you can do that. Joe, when you go on 10 appointments that are qualified, you're closing 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Okay, so how much better do you need to get? All right? You know what I'm talking about? You don't need to get any better. Lynn, you don't have to get any better at the business. You need to let people know you can help them get what they want. That's the key to this whole thing. I'm the person that can help you get what you want, right? Let me help you get what you want. All right. I'm just going to fly through this, but it's on the appointment setting. And if you don't like this one, use your own. I don't care. Daniel's doing a great job. Keep using yours, okay? I don't really care what you use, all right? This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm teaching. I'm going to teach my people how to set up appointments this way. This is what I've been doing, okay? We're starting to get some things going. Folks, we had 20 recruits in my base shop last month. I had 20 recruits in my base. I have a little base shop, 20, okay? How did I do it? That thing I just showed you is how we're starting to do it. Now, has everybody got it down? No. You know what I'll probably do this Saturday? I'll probably go over that again on Saturday. Do it one more time. Do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. Until I get people, to do it. And I get people to tape it, right? I have Saturday. I said, look, get these little tape recorders, right? They cost like what, $30 or $40, right? Get them to tape it. So I have a bunch of, on Saturday morning, I have like 20 tape recorders right up here in front. They're taping me. How to do it. You with me? Okay. That's what you should be doing. Get people doing what you're doing. Okay. So this is the thing. This is how you set an appointment up off a referral letter, right? When you're just getting started. This is a brand new recruit, right? Hello, John. This is Hector. How are you and Mary doing? Great. Hey, listen, John, the reason I'm calling is I'm getting involved in a new business that I'm really excited about. In fact, I'm so impressed with what they do that I'm considering making a career change. But John, before I make such an important decision, I'm calling a few people who I trust, and respect to give me their feedback. And I'm working with this great guy, Daniel, okay? And he's teaching me how to build my business. We have Wednesday or Thursday open this week. Which day works for you? Now, if they have credibility, they would tell you, okay? This is all, what have you said here? Not much, okay? What you're doing is that. So the objections potentially that come up is, what is it? This is what they're going to ask, right? Do they ever ask that? Absolutely, okay? So, let's say, John, it has to do with planning our financial future. Jan and I, this is what I would say. Jan and I were, and I emphasis on the they'll, right? We're so impressed with what, Daniel did for us that I decided to get involved. One of the reasons I want to meet with you guys is to have you feel comfortable referring people to me. And obviously, John, you wouldn't feel comfortable doing that unless you were as impressed as I was, right? Okay? Look, I know you're going to be as blown away as we were. So which day's better for you guys, Wednesday or Thursday? Again, what did I say? Nothing, okay? So the key is here. Let me tell you what the key to getting an appointment is. If they feel like you're going to come over and try to sell them something or get them to do something they don't want, they're not going to want to see you. This, feel comfortable referring people to me, is what takes them off the hook. Okay? Now, when we get there, I'm going to do an FA. I'm going to close them. They don't know that yet. I just want the appointment. That's all I need. Okay? What they think about before is not important. Okay? So you close again. All right? The next objection that potentially come up is, Hector, we're not interested in buying anything, or we already have someone who handles our finances. John, obviously, I would never use our relationship to try to get you to buy something you didn't want or need. I really want you to see what I'm doing so you'll feel comfortable referring me and to people like you. You and I both know you would never be comfortable unless you were totally impressed, right? Get them to say yes. They say right. So look, John, if you see something you want, that's up to you, okay? So which day works for you? And then you close on the appointment, right? They'll tell you Wednesday or Thursday, 6 or 8. You close for the time, okay? But you just go ahead and say, look, I'm not going to do anything. Don't worry about it. If you don't want to buy anything, I'm not saying that, but in a sense, I'm saying that. I just need the appointment, okay? This is for a new person. Or they're going to say, right now, I'm too busy. You ever hear that? Okay? Obviously, you and Mary are super busy. That's one of the reasons I want you to see what I'm doing, because you guys have so much credibility and you're successful. I want you to refer people like you. Of course, you wouldn't feel comfortable doing that unless you were really impressed, right? Great. So which day's better for you, Wednesday or Thursday? Okay? So we go back to the referrals. I'm looking for you as a referral source. I need your help. That's all, right? If you see something you like, great. The last thing I'm going to do is ask you to buy something, which it is, okay? Okay, so that's basically it. But I don't want them nervous because I want the appointment, right? They need to see me. This is setting appointments from referral letters. Hello, may I speak to John? This is Hector LaMarque. I'm calling regarding the letter that Daniel sent you. Did you receive it? Great. Look, Daniel and Karma were so impressed by what I did for them, they asked me if I would call you to set a time to meet with you. I have Wednesday or Thursday open this week. Which day works for you guys? Depending on how much credibility Daniel and Karma have, depends on what's going to happen. If they say, Viv, Daniel Karma said, come on over, right? That doesn't usually happen, though, okay? So the normal thing they say is, I already have somebody who handles my finances. That's a typical thing. That's great, John. A lot of our current clients had someone before they met with us, but once they allowed themselves to see the difference, in our financial needs analysis, they were disturbed by how much they were limiting their personal financial success. Is that powerful? Yes, it's very good if you learn it, okay? So John, can I ask you a couple of questions? Does your current plan that you have right now include the tools to help you pay off all your debt, including your home, by a definite date? Shut up and let them answer. They're going to say no, okay? And are you positive, John, your investments are allocated exactly as they should be based on your specific needs right now? Are you absolutely certain of that? They're going to say no. And does your company that you're working with now, do they update your plan as often as you like, free of charge? Is that part of the service they offer? No. And can they offer you the resources of the #1 financial service company in the world? Do they have those resources of the #1 company in the entire world when it comes to financial service? Do they have those resources to offer you? No. We do, though, right? So John, if you don't enjoy all these benefits, that could limit your results, couldn't it? What's that? The last but not least, did they offer you an opportunity to increase your income? Yeah, that's pretty important, right? Okay. And they're going to say no. All right. So, John, if you don't enjoy all these benefits, that could limit your results, couldn't it? And they're going to say yes. John, you know better than me. Your family deserves, you know better than me. Your family deserves every advantage you can offer them, don't they? What can you say to that? Doesn't it make sense to meet with me for a few minutes to make sure you have all your bases covered then? You like that? Very powerful, all right? So what do you got to do? You need to master this yourself first, okay? This is what I would do. I would put it on tape, okay? It's on tape now. I'm doing this as taped as we're talking, but it's not the same thing as you doing it in your own voice and getting it and making it you, okay? And getting comfortable with it. So what day's better for you, John? Monday or Tuesday, right? Or they might say, John says, I'm too busy. I know what you mean. Life's hectic, isn't it? They're going to say yes. But isn't the reason you're so busy is that you're working hard to get ahead? And he's going to say yes. Can I just ask you a couple of questions, John? If I can help you get ahead faster by, 1, helping you eliminate your debt quicker, 2, make sure your investments perform better, and 3, help you retire a lot sooner than you're on track for right now, doesn't it make sense to invest 20 or 30 minutes to meet with me so I can help you do that? Yes. Okay. Set appointment. If they're still hesitant to meet with you, they believe you're going to waste their time, and this is your response. If you're still having them fight you, okay, this is when you're calling referral letters, right? You say, John, usually when someone's hesitant to meet with me, I use this all the time. It always worked, okay? I said, John, usually when someone's hesitant to meet with me, it's because they feel like I'm going to try to sell them something they don't want or need, and I'm going to waste their time. Is that kind of how you're feeling right now? And they always would say, well, they do it like this. Well, yeah, I guess. They would be sheepish, always, okay? Because they're a little embarrassed because you caught them, right? Okay? You say, John, since I work strictly on a referral basis, it doesn't benefit me to ever waste anyone's time. Think about this, right? If I wasted Daniel and Karma's time, would they have referred me to you? And John, if I waste your time, will you feel comfortable referring people to me? And obviously, John, you know it's not in my best interest to waste your time, is it? So let's get together for 20, 30 minutes and see how I can help you. I have Wednesday or Thursday open this week. Which day works better for you? Can you see how many appointments you would have gotten had you used this stuff that you missed? If you had this down? How about your people trying to set up appointments? How about if they got that good? How about if you put in the time to train them to make sure they got that good? What would happen to your appointment setting process? Or you can go through the roof, okay? But where the rubber meets the road is the time you put in to do that, you guys. I can't do that for you. If they still won't set an appointment, this is what I would do. If I still, sometimes you just can't get them to set up an appointment. And I've had that lots of times, right? So I'd say, John, I feel bad you're not comfortable meeting with me. And I asked Daniel and Karma if they would call to vouch for me if you felt this way. Is that okay with you? That's how I would say it too. That's a tonality, okay? And you're going to say, yeah, well, thank you. I'll have them call you, and hopefully you'll feel comfortable enough to meet with me later. Thanks again for speaking with me. I really appreciate your time. I'm not going to burn a bridge. I'm not going to alienate them. I'm just going to do it just like that, okay? And then if they won't meet with you after your referrer calls them, the referrer doesn't have any credibility, and there's nothing you can do. Call the next person on your list. Appointment setting ratios are only as good as your skill level and the credibility of the person referring you. That's how good they're going to be. So that's why, if you're having problems, a lot of say, well, this direct contact referral system doesn't work. Well, guess what? If you hire better people, it would work, okay? If you didn't have flakes that you were field training, it would work, okay? The reason you have problems with this is because of the people that you're recruiting or the people you're working with. It has nothing to do with the system. You could see if you had the right people, it wouldn't be very difficult at all to set up a lot of appointments, right? Once you had it going. So that's basically it right there. I just wanted to share one last thing, and then we're out of here. I apologize for going over, but we didn't have a meeting last month, and we still got a few minutes, okay? This is a book that I actually got as a gift. I've been getting a lot of great books as gifts lately. I don't know why, but there are people sending me all this stuff. It's called Mind Power into the 21st Century by John Kehoe. It's a phenomenal book, by the way. It's a very easy read, too, okay? It's one of those that you can sit down and maybe an hour, you could finish it, okay? It's very easy. It says in chapter 1, another view of reality. There are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamed of by mere mortal men. That's Shakespeare. To work with mind power, you do not have to understand the law of physics or how reality manifests itself. Just as you don't have to understand how a carburetor works or how spark plugs fire in order to drive a car. Few of us understand automotive mechanics, but that doesn't stop us from driving, right? Likewise, in the science of mind power, anyone can quickly and successfully master the basics and effectively put them to work in his or her life. We begin by examining the nature of reality, especially the startling new discoveries in science over the last 20 years. This is really big. I've been reading about this stuff for a long time, but this is factual now. This is not theory anymore, all right? This is absolute physics. This is reality. So, which have helped us to understand more clearly how the mind creates its own reality. These discoveries explain why creating visualizations in our minds is not just idle daydreaming, but is a creative process which helps control and direct the same energies that hold matter together, change water into steam, or cause seed to sprout and grow. Understanding the nature of these energies assists us in understanding the mind and shows us why inspiration, prayer, and intuition are not supernatural phenomena at all, but follow patterns and laws which we can discover and use at our will. Like everything else in the known universe, the powers of the mind are governed by laws which, robbed of their scientific jargon and clearly presented, can be easily understood by anyone. Let me take you on a short adventure into these new discoveries. Modern physics now sees the universe as a vast, inseparable web of dynamic activity. Not only is the universe alive and constantly changing, but everything in the universe affects everything else. At its most primary level, the universe seems to be whole and undifferentiated, a fathomless sea of energy that permeates every object and every act. It is all one. In short, scientists are now confirming what mystics, seers, and occultists have been telling us for thousands of years. We are not separate, but part of one giant whole. Modern physics has changed our concept of the material world. Particles are no longer seen as consisting of any basic stuff. Rather, they are seen as bundles of energy. Literally, they are seen under those micron microscopes and stuff like that. Everything is energy. Your energy, everything the seat you're sitting in is energy, everything's energy. They're just moving at different frequencies. There's nothing that's not energy. And I don't know if you get this or not. It's just a fact, okay? It's reality, okay? So they may make sudden transitions, quantum leaps, behaving at times like units, yet on other occasions like waves of pure energy. Reality is fluid, nothing is fixed, everything is part of a pattern that is in constant motion. Even a rock is a dance of energy. The universe is dynamic, alive, and we are in it and of it, dynamic and alive ourselves. And that's really the key here. This is what I've been trying to talk about this lately because I think it's really important. Your businesses right now go at the frequency that you go, okay? You'll notice that when you're at a high level of energy and frequency and you're on it and you're inspired and you're moving and you're doing stuff, you start attracting a like kind of person to you, okay? And when you're disillusioned or you're frustrated or you're negative or you're feeling sorry for yourself or you're all those things, you're creating an opposite pull, okay? It's actually a push. You're pushing people away from you, okay? So that's why it's so important to work on your mind and your thinking to raise your energy level. Because how you think is energy itself, okay? What you're thinking about all the time. It's so critically important to be thinking properly because how you're thinking creates this energy around you. And what we're in a business of is attracting people, hopefully, into our business and our lives that can help us, that are the kind of people that are moving in the same direction we're moving. So that's why it's so critically important that you're always reading, listening to tapes, associating with the right kind of people, because everybody has a sense of energy. Have you noticed that people everybody has a different kind of energy about them? Some people, they're just like always Mr. Cool, and they have or they're down and depressed or whatever, and they have a certain energy about them. And then some people you meet, you go, hey, how you doing? And they just have, hey, great to see you. What's happening, right? And they have a whole different kind of energy, right? So which is more attractive? It's the upbeat. It's the high energy. It's the person moving in a direction. It's the person that has a vision, okay? And you create that energy. You can literally decide to have that kind of energy or not. You can decide it. You can decide when you greet people, how you greet them, how you are, what you're thinking about, what you're talking about, what you're focusing on. Nobody decides that but us, right? We decide that. Okay, so if you want to increase the energy, like right now, what I'm trying to do is increase the energy. Hopefully, when you come to this meeting, you go away energized, okay? My goal here is to have my energy up that you feel that I'm actually excited about what I'm doing, that I'm into it. This is not just a game for me, okay? So when you get in front of your team, what's the energy like? You could see when Daniel was up here, he's got a lot of energy, okay? You're probably going, whew, he made me tired just seeing him up there, okay? But let me just tell you something. The kind of energy he's emitting is attracting a certain kind of person to his business. The people that get pushed away by that energy are not the people that are ever going to do this anyway. They're the wrong kind of people because they don't fit. Their energy is not going to fit here. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so what do you want to have around you? You better start being that person, okay? You better start emitting that kind of energy. I don't know if I'm making any sense to you or not, okay? But let me just tell you, it is so important. It's just hard to even describe or put it into words, okay? It's critically important. It says, consciousness. This is chapter 2. So think of your every thought were to be etched in fire upon the sky for all and everything to see, for so in truth it is. If you think of your thoughts as a reality existing side by side with what we call the physical reality, you will be closer to understanding the unique relationship between the two. You are living simultaneously in two worlds, two realities, the inner reality of your thoughts, emotions, and attitudes, and the outer reality of people, places, things, and events that are happening around you. Because we fail to separate these inner and outer worlds, we're always allow ourselves to become dominated by the outer world of our appearances, and we use the inner world solely as a mirror for whatever happens to us. Our inner world reacts constantly, and because we spend all of our time simply reacting, we never experience our power. Ironically, you begin changing your reality the day, the hour, the minute you cease constantly reacting to it. Your inner consciousness is a powerful force whose influence is felt in every aspect of your life. It is, in fact, the major and most important part of who you are and is the main cause of your success or failure. Everything at its purest and deepest essence is energy. And whenever you think you are working with an immense amount of this energy in the quick, light, mobile form of thought, thought is forever attempting to find form. It is always looking for an outlet, is always trying to manifest itself. It is the nature of thought to try and materialize into physical equivalent. That's why repeating certain kinds of thoughts are so important. That's why affirmations are so important, to constantly say them over and over, right? Keeping them short and sweet, but constantly saying them every single day, over and over and over. And I sent a fabulous message out to this morning about that, okay? Our normal thoughts can be compared to sparks from a fire. I put right here in the print in the side, if this is true, we must truly be careful of what we think, right? Our normal thoughts can be compared to sparks from a fire. Though they contain the essence and potential power of the flame, they normally dissipate quickly. They last only a few seconds, fly into the air, and quickly burn out. Although a single unaided thought hasn't much power, through repetition, the thought can become concentrated and directed, and its force can be magnified many times. The more the thought is repeated, the more energy and power it generates, and the more readily it is able to manifest itself. It's why you should talk to everyone about what you're doing. Okay? Like what Daniel was talking about. He's talking about all this stuff, right? It may seem outlandish, but you should be talking about it, Kurt, to everybody all the time. Weak and scattered thoughts are weak and scattered forces. Strong and concentrated thoughts are strong and concentrated forces. To illustrate this picture a magnifying glass through which the sun rays pass. If the magnifying glass is moved about from spot to spot, the power of the sun rays is diffused and not apparent, correct? If, however, the magnifying glass is held still and focused correctly at the proper height, those same rays become concentrated, and that diffused light suddenly becomes a force powerful enough to ignite a fire. So it is with your thoughts. As you progress in study of mind power, you will learn how to develop and concentrate your thoughts so that they become much more powerful. At this point, you just realize that thoughts have power in themselves. Your deeply held beliefs, your fears, your hopes, your worries, your attitudes, and your desires, and each and every thought you think all have an effect on others and your environment. He manages their thoughts. I put right here, he who manages their thoughts best wins in life. Most of us go through our waking hours taking little notice of our thought process, how the mind moves, what it fears, what it heeds, what it says to itself, what it brushes aside. For the most part, we eat, work, converse, worry, hope, plan, make love, shop, play, all with minimal attention paid to how we think. We might be far more willing to learn how to use our mental mechanism if we imagined for a moment that for every thought we either gained $1 or lost $1. For every thought, we either gained $1 or lost $1. How powerful is that? Depending on the type of thought, considering we think thousands of thoughts every day, this is quite a proposition. Imagine an accounting system noting our every thought and recording which ones gained us money and which ones lost us money. How diligent would we be in controlling and directing our thoughts if that's what happened? How enthusiastically would we create those thoughts which made us money? How carefully would we avoid those which cost us money? This is, in fact, more or less what is already happening inside you, though with energy, not dollars. There's a big accounting system going on. It's called the universe. No thought produced there is without its effect. The world of ours is no dead pile of brick and stone. It is living, vibrant, of energy. Every thought you think impresses itself upon this system, and its effect is indisputable. Whether you like it or not, you are forever creating your reality through what you are thinking. And also, whether you understand it or not, it's happening. The beginning step to new and more successful lives is absurdly easy. You have only to pay attention to the flow of thoughts inside your head and direct it accordingly. Your life is entirely of your own making, so look at it the way you are living. Look at the way you're living. You claim you want financial abundance, yet you are constantly bemoaning your lack of money and how expensive things are. You dwell on what you don't have and the bills coming in. You worry and wonder how you will get along. And you may want financial abundance, but because of your consciousness is a lack of lack and worry, you will never experience that abundance. Or maybe you wish you could find a new job or something interesting or challenging, and it'll never happen. It's unlikely to ever happen. Perhaps you wish you could be more outgoing, individual, bold, and spontaneous, full of assurance and confidence. Yet if you constantly focus on your inferiorities and inadequacies and put yourself down, reminding yourself again and again of your problems, you're not likely to become that type of person. You may want strength, but if your consciousness is of weakness, you are fooling yourself to think you will ever possess that strength. In short, wanting something badly will not make it happen. Hoping for something different will have no effect. Simply working hard, even if it's 12 to 15 hours a day, is not enough. You will always remain where you are unless, and it's a big unless, you change your thinking. If you want to change your circumstances, develop the necessary consciousness. A successful person has a success consciousness. A wealthy person has developed a prosperity consciousness, and his thoughts are on abundance, success, and prosperity. This is how he thinks. Easy for him, you say. When you're successful, it's easy to think success. When you're wealthy, it's easy to think prosperity. But my situation is totally different. I'm not successful. I'm not wealthy. The situations and circumstances of my life keep me down. Wrong. Dead wrong. Your circumstances and situations never keep you down. The only things that keep you down and keep you stuck are your thoughts. With work and practice, you can learn to direct your thoughts and create any conscience you choose. Your reality will change only after you develop your new conscious, not before. The new consciousness must come first. What is it that you want in your life? Do you know? More health, get a health consciousness. More power, get power consciousness. More prosperity, get prosperity consciousness. More happiness, get happiness consciousness. More spirituality, get spiritual consciousness. Everything exists as a possibility. All that's required is for you to feed in the necessary energy. How reassuring is it to think that no matter what a person's past or present situation, no matter how many times he or she has previously failed, if that person would but regularly feed his or her consciousness, his or her situation would change. This remarkability has been given to each and every one of us to use or to ignore. It costs no money. It takes no special talent. It takes only the decision on your part to take the time and put forth the necessary effort to develop the appropriate consciousness. That's all. Everything else will automatically fall into place. Your mind is like a garden which can be cultivated or neglected. You are its master gardener. You can cultivate this garden or you can ignore it. You can let it develop whatever way it will, but make no mistake, you will reap the harvest of your work or your neglect. Your mind creates your reality. You can choose to accept this or not. You can be conscious of it and set your mind working for you, or you can ignore it and allow it to work in ways that will hinder and hold you back. But your mind will always and forever be creating your reality. If you learned everything you could about becoming a success and applied it, could you become successful? See you next month.